Reunited and it feels so good.
Ooh,
Reunited and it understood.
yeah.
Well, what's going on, people? What's going on, people, man? Hey, look, it's been a while since you seen the fourth of the heavy hitters live. As you already know, man, we over here, we talk about not only the stacks and facts of truth, but we give you the Falcons talk with a logical mindset, whether you like it or not. I'm your host, K Styles, aka the Sixth Man, and to my screen.
I gotta do it. Now you can say it right. There you go.
Oh, God. Okay. Thanks to Mike to my stage. Well, screen right, as y'all know, is well, of course y'all know Mad Mike Sports,
Yes.
and right below him you may know him as the Don, but he goes as said on the screen, El Grande Cerro de Verano, aka the fattest motherfucker on the planet.
That's not
Don in the building.
that's not what it means. It means the Great Summerhill.
I know it means the great summer hill, but I call you the fattest motherfucker on the planet.
Oh, y'all understand I'm on a diet, so
Oh, he on a diet. Oh, wow. That's interesting.
y'all seen
See.
on Friday. I ate shrimp. I didn't eat any pizza or wings. I ate shrimp, and I was highly disappointed in the shrimp because it was box shrimp. It wasn't real shrimp.
Oh, my gosh.
All right. Hey. Either way, y'all, he still ate the motherfucker, so it was good enough for him to finish it up. And right below me, as y'all, yeah, hey, we got the minister. Um, we got the voice of reason in the whole group. Jew Talk Sports is in the building.
What up? We back.
So you know football season is getting closer because we about to be back and we about to come as a force awakening around here, man. So we gonna go ahead and kick this off, man. Mike, you already know what it is, man. Let everybody know what it is. It's the what?
It's the I haven't done that
Roll
in a
call.
long fucking time. I
Oh,
haven't done
yo,
that in a
ass.
long time. A long time. So I just thought I would do it just one time because
Oh,
that's all I motherfucking got for the rest of the year. All right.
yeah, that motherfucker gonna need an Alka-Seltzer, man. I'm trying to doing that shit again. Man, let's go and get right into it, man. Like I said, today's roll call, we kicking it off with King Treyway. We got Smooth C78. We got Vanos, Brian Peeps, Georgia, Texas boy. Got one of my favorite ladies in the world, Miss Sonia in the building. Like I said, we got one of our favorite writers behind the scene. Keyshawn Blad is in the building. So y'all make sure y'all follow Keyshawn Blad on X because he's got a lot of articles and like I said, give you some perspective on some Falcons topics. We got Jay Diaz and we got Southside. Man, let's go. Let's get right into it, man. As you know, It's been a good little while since y'all seen the four of us do a show together. Like you said, man, you know, Jew got the new baby girl and him coaching and with not only being a girl dad, but being a coach dad, man. Jew, keep everybody up there about how everything been going with
Oh man, everything is going good, man. Blessed. The baby is 3 months now. I'm back to work. Everything is like falling into place. Son running track. Hey man, we got athletes over here. You know, I'm doing like I said, I'm doing the daddy thing. Daddy, coach, whatever you want to call me, the jack of all trades. That's what a true dad is. You whatever your kids need and whatever the wife
you.
needs.
Exactly. So
And
so
Juliana, my God, she looked like both of them. Got Ju face, her
Yeah.
skin complexion, her eyes. She's a nice mixture of both.
Both of y'all.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
I'm gonna have to bring on the show so everybody can
That's
see
good
her.
for
Yeah.
that's really good for a girl. Like my daughter, she pretty much all of me and my mama.
Yeah.
Yeah, she got 2/3 of this nigga's appetite at the age she
Yeah,
had
she does.
already.
Got 100.
She's gonna be a volleyball player.
I don't know about. I don't know what. But speaking of her, her birthday's Friday, so she'll be 3.
Okay.
And also my son, my oldest son, he got accepted to the University of Alabama to do dual enrollment.
Oh, really? Oh,
Oh,
shit.
Now we got a Crimson Tide in the family. I'm like, boy, you could have chose any other school. But hey, we beat them
What school
Tide.
he should have chose? What school he should have chose?
He could have chose a school that was close by. I don't know.
Okay.
He could have chose Auburn. He could have chose Alabama
there you
A&M.
go. Say it again.
He could
Auburn.
have chose Jacksonville State. Like it's other schools in Alabama.
I'm just asking.
Look, I ain't worried about him. I would not. I would prefer him not to go to Michigan. That's too far.
I didn't say that. I just said I'm just asking.
Hey, it's his education.
To be fair.
Got to live his own life. He can't. I ain't finna have my son live through me. So
Hey man, congratulations to Junior on going on to the next step with that one.
Yeah, he be trying to be trying to yeah, he be trying to man up. He be trying to break Negro's hand. Like, calm your ass down, boy.
but he chose Alabama over Auburn. Talking about well, the food court better. Cause
Oh. Hey, that sounds just like a
Oh,
tip. That sounds exactly what I would think his would
I
say.
expected him to say something like that.
yeah, he said it. Y'all know he said it.
I'm not surprised either.
Nah, it's all good. It's all good. But like I said, congratulations to Junior. Um, yeah, yeah. You said dual enrollment scholarship. Shit, at least your ass ain't got to pay for it, done.
Mhm.
So, hey man, like you said, you already know, man. You might keeping it down for the fellas and stuff over here as well. So let's go ahead and get right into it, man. So, well. So pretty much today's episode is pretty much gonna be talking about Atlanta Falcons training camp, some of the stories that's been going around with it so far, some of the possible battles, and we're gonna Q&A it up as well, man. So we're gonna we're gonna let you kick us off, man. So see y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the Heavy Hitters Live as well as Jew Talk Sports, Mad Mike Sports, and 16K Live. So Jew, man. So see you've been putting out quite a few videos and stuff like that, man. So what do you think about what's been going on as far as these OTAs, man? What do you think about the prospects of the Falcons going into the 2025 season, man?
I'm really excited about this upcoming team. I really like the way that this team is built. I think they did the right things in the draft. You guys know that I've been pounding the table for us to, first round, the trenches. In the first round, I didn't think that when they went back and traded back up in the first round that they were going to pick two edge rushers in the first round. I thought it was going to be the kid out of Georgia, the safety, because that's what everybody thought we were going to do, and they tricked everybody with the James Pierce Jr. Never in a million years did I think the Falcons would take two edge rushers in the first round, but it's something that I was extremely happy about, mind blown to see the Falcons do that. But that tells me that they're really serious about fixing the pass rush, which has been the Achilles heel for our team for I don't know how long. So I'm really excited about hearing what the coaches are saying and the players. And I'm really looking at what players are going to step up as far as leadership and things of that nature. And just from the couple of interviews I've seen so far, it seems like on the defensive side, Jesse Bates, Caden Ellis, those guys seem like they're kind of the leaders on the defensive side of the ball. They're talking about Michael Penix and his ability as far as him not being a very boisterous type dude, but a guy that's quiet but confident. I mean, I'm like what I'm hearing, but at the end of the day, I just want to see these guys take the next step. I want us to win games. I heard Darnell Mooney talk about, I didn't come to Atlanta just to get stats and get 1,000 yards receiving. I came here to win games. He was in Chicago where we know at the Bears he wasn't winning a lot of games. He didn't have quarterbacks. The quarterback play there. He came to Atlanta for that reason to win games, to be a part of something special. And I really feel like this Falcons team has a ton of talent. We just have untapped potential. So what I'm really focusing on this year is have the coaches, learn from their mistakes, mainly Raheem Morris. And that was my last video. If you guys missed it, is Raheem Morris going to learn from the mistakes he made last year? He talked about taking too long and making the proper adjustments. That's something we talked about all season long last year. It's like you see that there's a problem. You can't wait to the bye week to make the proper changes. You have to make in-game adjustments. That's just the world that you live in as a head coach. You have to fix everything. How I was talking about being a father, and you got to wear a bunch of different hats. The same thing as a head coach. You can't just say, I'm going to focus on the defensive side of the ball. I'm going to focus on the offensive side of the ball. He has to do everything. And when things go up in smoke and flames, you're to blame because you are the head coach. You are the CEO of the team. So at the end of the day, whatever the weakness is as the head coach, you got to figure out what that weakness is. And if you don't have the answers, you have to have the guys on the coaching staff that's not afraid to step up and speak out. And that's something that Mike, you guys talked about numerous times, is you can't be afraid to have guys that are smarter than you in the room and that can speak up and say, I don't like what we're doing here. Let's fix this. Let's adjust this. We don't care who gets the credit. We just want to win games. At the end of the day, if we win a Super Bowl, who cares about who gets the credit? At the end of the day, everybody's going to get a ring. So at the end of the day, all I want to see from this team is just them get out of the mediocrity, because we've been 8-8, 8-9, always in that middle of the pack type situation. I really want to see this Falcons team take the next step as far as the playoffs, as far as winning the division, and not being a team that plays down to their competition, plays up for certain games, plays down, like it's this up and down situation. I want to see this team get to some type of consistency where you win the games you're supposed to win. When we watch football on Sundays, we know what to expect, because I feel like the last couple of years, we don't know from game to game what Falcons team is going to show up. We don't know if we're going to play down to the competition. We don't know if we're going to play up, because it's been games where we've lost to teams that we had no business being in the game with. And then there's been teams like the Chiefs where we play them wire to wire. So I'm just looking for consistency. That's what I'm looking for this season is, can you guys show me what your blueprint is? Can you be consistent and go out there and win games, but have some type of identity? You guys know I've been pounding the table the last couple of years, but what is your identity for this team? What is this team going to look like? And I know I kind of went on, like I said, I've been driving my wife crazy with these soliloquies, but that's just one of them to start the show. It's just like, we got to get to the point where we know what to expect, and we know what the Falcons football, that brand of Falcons football, building that winning culture we keep talking about. We got to get to that point. Right now, I feel like it's a seesaw. We're not seeing the consistency that we need to see year in and year out, and that's what I want to see change.
Go ahead, Mike.
No,
What you
I
got?
don't
What you
think
got
you
to say
want
on
me
that?
to go. I'll concede my spot, my turn at this particular point. So I would
Oh,
much
okay,
rather have done go before I do.
okay, okay. All right. So Don, kind of piggybacking off of what you was just talking about. What has been your thoughts as far as Jeff Ulbrich and how he's kind of been a little bit more hands on with the linebacker room? Do you think that that is going to be some type of catalyst that can help them get over the hump?
Um, we gonna see, man. Like I'm not gonna sit here and make predictions and just say I hope. I can say I hope all day long, but if it don't come to fruition, then what is what are we trying to talk about? And I'm not trying to sound negative or anything like that, but it's just what Drew just said. He has to allow the coaches, the position coaches, to coach their positions, and allow the coordinators to coach their side of the ball. It's that simple. Like he has to step back and be a head coach. I understand he's a defensive coordinator by trade, DB coach for a long time, but you got to allow those guys that you hired to do their jobs, so that way he can do his job. But yo, the linebacker core, man, I just really feel like with the talent we got with the draft with Pierce and Jalen I forgot his last name.
Walker.
Walker, yeah. Jalen Walker, yeah. We really improved that position right there. And then on top of you still got JD Bertrand, you still got Caden Ellison, he's still here, Troy Anderson, hopefully he can stay healthy this year. And so it's gonna be a lot of competition if everybody can stay healthy, knock on wood, with that position. As far as the offense go, I know you just talked about Ulrich and the linebacker room. But as far as the offense go, man, I really feel like our receivers are gonna take that next step, like Mooney and those other guys. Like, I can expect a lot of good things with the receivers, especially with the quarterback we have with Michael Penix. We know he can. We know he can give the ball to those receivers. So it's all about just going out there, in the preseason, really, and each play. Execute each play. We don't have time to make mistakes. We got to get out of this, this mediocrity. What Drew just talked about. We always finish in the season 7-9, and then when they went to an 18-week schedule, what 8-9. We've been 8-9 for past 4 years. So it's like, when are we gonna, get over that hump and actually be over 500, well over 500, so we can win our division? The division is ours, you guys. All we got to do is just not make dumb mistakes, and that goes from the coaching staff on down.
Hmm. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, Mike. Um, so with the prospects of a lot of these matches, and Brian Peoples just put out here, man. He said congratulations, Newsel, for his contract. So they finally got
Mhm.
Newsel under the books. I'm new to that news right now, but like I said, that's good. You like I said, you wanted to solidify that position and get the numbers right. So I don't even know the exact numbers on there, Mike. You might have those numbers more
Yeah,
for me.
it's 2 years, 9.5 and 6.25 guaranteed.
So it's a
That's
proven
about
contract. It's a proven contract, pretty much.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I mean, that's what you want, man. You want guys to be able to prove themselves. I mean, this team is still young, and the Falcons have a lot of things that they have to figure out this season. Um, but look, he started 8 games, and I personally believe the pass protection for the Atlanta Falcons got better with him at center. That's just my personal opinion. The run game probably wasn't as explosive because Drew Dahlman, he excels at getting to that second level. That's where he excels at. But for the most part, it's just going to be an interesting thing with the Atlanta Falcons. However, as far as how I see this season, man, it's like for me, I don't think I know how it comes off in regards to me, but I don't really care. I could care less. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about nobody's feelings. I don't care about the coach's feelings. I don't care about the media feelings. I don't care about them feelings because I'm tired of seeing our team at 18 and below every single year. I'm tired of seeing the run defense at 18 and below. I'm tired of seeing the pass protection, the sacks, the pressures, everything 18 and below. And I'm being generous when I say that. I am sick of it. I know Mr. Blank is sick of it. I'm tired of seeing. I'm tired of seeing the same old faces trying to sell us on it being okay. No. Get somebody in who can do it. If Raheem is that guy, okay. If Jeff Ulbrich is that guy, okay, fine. But like Don says, get the hell out of the way. Let these guys give you ideas. This is exactly what we do here. Everybody like to point their finger at me. It's like I'm the one who coming up with the ideas, but most of the time it's really good God. I guess that was Mother Nature trying to make me lie. But I'm not gonna lie to the people. Most of the time it's really these guys right here when it comes down to the show ideas. You know, we look K Styles will let you know. This is how we see it. Now it's the four of us, but how Jew and how Kevin and I see it. Look, we just whatever Dunn wants us to do, we follow suit. We soldiers over here. So that's how I think the Atlanta Falcons should be. The head coach should be the guy that oversees it, but let your guys, man, let your guys, the one that you brought in to be the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, linebacker coach, let them coach. Okay? Don't be so fixated on running what you want to run if it's not working. And that's right there is what I'm tired of when it comes down to just coaching, period. If it's not working, stop trying to force it. That's what I'm focused on this year.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think this is definitely what we call. I would say this would be a critical year. Um, Not only for this coaching staff, but like you said, for the front office guys of the franchise here, because um, it's been kind of like that roller coaster of emotions. It's we start off on the bad foot, we look like we're making progress, and then we kind of teeter down again. Now, with the Falcons this year had some higher expectations. They got the expectations of we better win. And I think with that urgency right there, I think this is what's going to actually help this team being able to get over the hump is that sense of urgency. Um, but hey, man, I love what they do, and I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to set that mindset of we got to get it done. It just goes back to what Marshall Lynch said. By what you said? What you say they need to do? What they need to be about?
About that action, boss.
They need to be about that action this year. And that's what Drew was talking about is the focus on the trenches and things like that, because like I said, this is something that Drew's been talking about for a long time. This is something that
Mm-hmm.
we've all been preaching. We got to get back to the fundamentals, and the fundamentals start in the trenches.
Mm-hmm.
It starts with your edge rushers. Now, like I said, we may not look like we got that much better on the defensive tackle side of the game. But the thing about it, that's why they brought Jeff Ulbrich here. Jeff Ulbrich, he's already been here, and he's also a Robert Saleh disciple as well. So you're gonna kind of have you're gonna merge those defensive styles, and like I said, you have the athletes on the edge. You got some athletes that's in the middle. It just come out the news is that they're switching D'Angelo Malone to an off-ball middle linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, but like you said, that's probably because they already damn near 6-7 deep at edge rusher, so they're
But
gonna move him to.
we also seen glimpses of Malone covering guys last year in the game, and he did okay. So I
Hmm.
remember I said this last year. I said, don't be surprised next year they transition him to a middle linebacker.
Right, right. But like I said, man, it is not only just that. Like you said, man, I think the urgency of a D offer going to have to step his game up because, like I said, you have the Billy Bowmans of the world, you got the Kobe Bryants, you got the Xavier Watts, the Mike Fords and stuff like that. So the nickel corner position is a position of interest because you have a lot of depth there, which is depth that we didn't have last year. Um, so hey man, like I said, you just got to get it done, man. We got to put it all together. I think this year is going to be a real big emphasis and focus on the defensive side of the ball because that's definitely where a lot of our deficiencies were. Offensively, I don't have an issue. Um,
I mean, I got an issue. As long as they stay off that Pink Panther, uh, unlike
no, nah,
Stephon
not
Diggs,
Stephon Diggs.
yeah,
Lord,
I just want my offense to stay away from the Pink Panther. That's all.
Lord, 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 Lord. All right. Let me see. Richie here said they said Albrecht is bringing the inner linebacker out of him.
Physicality. That's what
Mm,
he's a linebacker, and that's why most of the time linebacking coaches, a la Bill Belichick, a la um, Olbrick in this situation. You look at Dean Pease, all these guys. Um, uh, Michigan defensive coordinator. Good God Almighty, I'm so sorry.
Wink Martindale.
Wink Martindale. I was about to call him Dunn Martindale.
That's his
Uh,
That's
real
his
name.
real
yeah,
name.
but
Yeah.
they don't call him
Yeah.
they don't call him Dunn Martindale.
Now that wink is just a warning. That's a
Hmm.
warning shot. No, but we also have to remember with Jeff Olbrick has been a very productive linebacker in this league. Hell,
Yes.
we also have to remember he was also a mentor to the great Patrick Willis as well. So,
Hmm.
he's used to teaching guys.
Hmm.
It just go
Like you
back
said,
to
go
AK.
ahead,
I
go ahead,
don't mean
Jim.
to cut you off. Now it just goes back to what you said, like with Jeff Ulbrich and Kate Nellis talked about this in his little them talking to him at OTAs after practice. He basically just said linebacking coaches are very detailed. And he talked about him being a very detailed coach. And that's something that we've talked about year in and year out after these games. When we talk about the intricate details, paying attention, knowing what your assignment is, that's what Jeff Ulbrich is going to do. He's going to hold these players accountable, to make sure that they understand what their assignment is and that they get the job done. And that's what Caden Ellis was talking about. So I really feel like that's the big thing. I think the biggest difference we'll see from the defense is Jeff Ulbrich even said it, like the defense is not complex. He talked about Walker coming over from Georgia. He's like, Georgia runs a very complex defense where you're doing a lot of different things. They asked Walker to do a bunch of different things, be off ball linebacker, be play inside, do all these different things, play on the outside, rushing the passer. He's like, we're going to simplify everything so guys just play fast. And that's why you're seeing them move guys around. Like I like the move Malone and use his speed. You know, what did Landman struggle with? The lateral speed. We keep talking about that. If you got athletes, all Campbell was when we had in 16, Campbell was just athletic. He wasn't the smartest player, but he was athletic. So they allow him to use his athleticism. And that's the same thing with D'Angelo Malone. If you simplify the defense, you don't run a ton of different things. You just, make adjustments when necessary. Guys will play fast and go after the football. And I really feel like that's what Jeff Ulbrich is doing. He's taking a lot of the thinking out of it. He's putting the stress on his linebackers like Caden Ellis and his leaders to know what to do. But it's not going to be so much complexity where guys are confused. And that's where you see the blown coverages. You see guys not knowing where they're supposed to be at, what they're supposed to be doing, instead of just reading and reacting. How many times have we said, if you're thinking, you're already beat. If you're a second too late, you're already beat. The quarterback is already knowing where he's going with the football. So if you don't jump the slant and you take one false step, you take a step back, that's it. That's all it takes in the NFL is that one, half a yard that gets you beat. So I really feel like that's where we're going to see the difference with the defense is they're going to be keen in on, as I talked about, the details, the small, intricate details, the fundamentals of the game. If you listen to Jeff Ulbrich, he always talks about fundamentals. If you do the fundamentals, good players do the fundamental things consistently. Tim Duncan didn't do nothing special. He used the backboard. He did all of the stuff you learn when you first pick up a basketball. And the guys that do the minute stuff consistently, a la Matt Ryan, where he wasn't flashy, but he's going to do, his footwork's going to be perfect. When he takes a 3-step drop, that ball's coming out when his back foot hit, he not hesitating. Those are the guys that consistently get it done. So I really feel like that's the difference is the fundamentals, doing it consistently, doing the mundane over and over and over again consistently.
You don't muted yourself or whatever.
Nah, yeah, I damn sure did. I thought I was talking. I was trying to be respectful. Hard ass motherfucker. But T Chop right here said, players make mistakes when they think too much. And like you said, and you could definitely tell when you look on the field somebody who's thinking too damn much. We seen it quite a bit last year.
I mean,
Uh,
I don't believe Raheem when he said he simplified things last year. He didn't simplify things last year. He made things way too difficult than what it needed to be. Now he's making those changes, which I'm fond to seeing. But like I said, like you can talk a real good game now, but I don't care about you talking a real good game. For the next 2 months or so until we get to football season, I want to see it.
Exactly.
Not, I don't question whether or not Raheem is a smart football coach. I don't question whether or not he's intelligent. I question enough is he got the fucking guts to actually make the necessary adjustments, in-game adjustments, because that's where the great head coaches make their money. They don't make their money in practice. This coaching staff makes their money in practice. He needs to make his money during the season, the in-game adjustments. That's where I question his lack of leadership and his coaching ability. Because we know two things with was one of the greatest coaches of all time, keeps Andy Reid. We know he's gonna make those necessary adjustments. He's either gonna run the ball, he gonna get it to his wide receiver, he gonna get it to his tight end, but you never see the same game plan from them week after week. They will switch it up. And I'm talking about he has no cause about changing things in the middle of the game, before a game, after the game. Whatever's working, he's going. If it's not working, he's gonna go to something different, and that's what I need my coach to be on.
what does Panther say?
Yeah.
Seattle,
Yeah.
no fear. This defense has to be no fear.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say that again. This defense has to be no fear.
Mm-hmm.
Job is main objective is when you get out there, it's the defense turn, three and out,
Mm-hmm.
three and
That's
out,
it.
three and out, or to or get the ball back. That's it. That should be in their mindset every time they on the field. Three and out, get the
Mm-hmm.
ball back.
Yeah.
Because
The
even
number one
you give Michael Penix Jr. more opportunities, you give Bijan Robinson more opportunities with the ball, we'll be all right. We'll be good.
look. I need Michael Pennis to go over to the defense and say, I want that ball. Give me the ball. Yeah, if y'all remember the replacements, remember the scene when Gene Hackman was talking to Danny Bateman. He talking about, I need that ball. Give me the ball. He said, you need the ball. Give me the ball. I'm
Mm-hmm.
gonna get you the ball. I'm gonna get you the ball. I need that. I need that,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll be fine. But that was my favorite scenes in the whole movie. That boy went crazy in hell. He told me to get the ball. Boy was start bleeding through his damn band-aid on his nose. Boy, I said, ooh, wee. But um, speaking of some of the possible training camp battles here and there, one of the biggest battles that we see right now is that nickel corner position, as the notable names of you know the offer, Clark Phillips, Billy Bowman. Um, just y'all opinion alone. Who are you looking for to have the edge in that spot before the preseason start?
I say Billy Bowman personally, but what I really feel like it's gonna come down to, K, and I said this during one of y'all shows in the chat, it's really gonna come down to guys who tackle well. Like if you guys remember 2016 and 2017 when you had Brian Poole, he was to me one of the keys to that defense because he was like a miniature linebacker, and you really need your nickel to be a guy that's physical, a guy that can tackle really well because you're gonna have a lot of option routes and a lot of different quick routes. So they got to be able to cover, but they also got to be able to come up and tackle and fill gaps in the run game, and they got to be physical. They got to be fearless, but they got to be able to make tackles in space, bubble screens, them type of plays where the ball comes out quick. You got to be able to make one-on-one tackles. And I think that was something that was really underrated with Brian Poole is his ability. If you go back and look at 2016, 2017, how many times he made crucial tackles, even down to the one game against the Lions where he undercuts the guy, stops him at like the 1 yard line, and he basically touched them down at the 1 yard line. And that we end up winning that game because of that play that Brian Poole made. But that's something that I think goes overlooked in the nickel position is not only do you have to be able to cover, but you got to be able to tackle well. Because if you can't tackle, you're gonna be in for a long day. Because that's where a lot of the yak yardage comes from. We know that quarterbacks are gonna go towards the middle of the field every single time. And if you don't got guys that can tackle and that's not afraid to tackle, and I mean one on one, it ain't about like you want to game tackle, but a lot of times you caught in the island out there in the middle of the field. So if guys are running those over routes, you got to be able to make one on one, mano y mano tackles consistently and not miss a ton of them. Because if you miss that tackle, that's an explosive play usually.
Yeah, yeah, and that's kind of like one of the weaknesses of a Billy Bowman. Not necessarily that he can't tackle. A lot of times he tries to do too much when it comes to tackling. But like you said, what he makes up in missing tackles, what he does in missing tackles, he makes up for getting the ball. So you're playing. He's a guy that likes to gamble. Now,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, like I said, once he gets a little seasoned, he'll learn. And like you said, and with a Jeff Obert type, man, like you said, they'll fix that. So that's
Yeah,
why I said I'm not too worried about that at all. Like you said, the main thing he was brought here for is give me the ball. We
exactly.
need that ball.
And I like his physicality, K. Like I heard that he's a guy that's super aggressive, like all gas, no brakes. I watched a lot of his film and stuff like that prior to and after we picked him up. But nothing against D Alford. I like D Alford, but I don't think that D Alford necessarily plays the game with the same physicality. Like when you play in that nickel position, you kind of almost gotta have like reckless abandon as far as you can't care about like getting hurt. You can't care about, you got to basically just be like a little crazy, like playing that linebacker position. You banging heads every single play, like, and that's similar to when you in the inside. Like if you guys remember last year, they talked about man, they kind of trying to run at D Alford in certain ways because D Alford is not the biggest guy, so they were kind of in certain instances he held his own, and I like his game. I think he's really good in coverage, but I think at times they would have certain run fits where it's like, okay, these plays we gonna make D Alford have to fit up in the run game, and you got to have somebody like to me. Brian Poole had reckless abandon. Like he played like a linebacker. He was coming downhill full speed, and he might knock himself out the game because he's playing physical in that way. So I really feel like whoever's in that like slot position, they kind of got to play with a different type of aggression than an outside corner would play with out there on the boundary. So that's the only thing that I like about Billy Bowman. It seemed like he's kind of one of them guys that got a couple screws loose. Like he gonna play all gas, no brakes type of physicality. And when you kind of like I said, that miniature linebacker, that's how your mindset got to be. You got to be downhill in that slot.
Yeah, yeah, man. What about you, Doug? What do you think about that mixed corner
Look,
competition, man?
Billy Bowman, like I said, he's looked good so far. I really did like him coming out of Oklahoma, but we forgetting, you know, Clark Phillips. I don't know. I don't know if they see Clark Phillips as an outside guy, but you know, we just have to see if they're gonna continue to have Clark Phillips as a nickel, and him and Bowman gonna end up, battling that spot out. But again, what Drew said, man, like Bowman, man, that dude, he has great instinct. He's a great tackler. That's what we really need for our DBs because most of our DBs they can't tackle for damn outside of outside of Jesse Bates. You know, so we just have to
No,
see.
AJ is a phenomenal tackle.
AJ can tackle as well, but like if we looking at like the best tackle, the best DB, the best tackler out of the DBs is Jesse Bates, and it's not even fucking close.
I mean, he's a safety.
But
He's supposed to. Yeah,
but
yeah.
but
But
yeah.
yeah, I agree.
So what I'm saying is like we need more. We need more DBs that can fucking tackle. I'm tired of seeing you know the receiver catch the ball and then our DB try to go in for a tackle and then they fucking whip like they whiff it, you know, and then the damn receiver get an additional 15 yards after damn contact.
Yeah, but I don't think that's a DB problem. I think that's our linebacker problem. If you know you got a guy that's gonna knock your block off in the middle of there, just, like if you worried about your me person, it's just how I think. If I'm counting on my opponent the tackle wheel, I've already lost. I already lost. I need my linebacker to be all over the place. I need him to be playing with reckless abandonment. I don't. I do not want to be counting on corners, maybe safeties. But if I'm looking at Billy Bowman, I'm looking at AJ Terrell and Clark Phillips and all these guys to tackle. Like me, I've already lost. I need a psychotic linebacker in there that's gonna knock you the hell out. We don't have that. And I think if the Falcons are going to have a successful defense that's physical, I think it has to be Troy. He has the physical makeup to be that. He don't have a lot of experience, as much experience that we need him to have. But he has that physical makeup, both skills and the his physical stature. So for me, like if I'm worried about my corners tackling, man, like I said, that's already a problem for me
Mm.
because if linebacker is all over the place, guess what happens? The DB's job gets that much easier. So we gotta improve the linebackers have to improve. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We gotta get better play from our linebackers.
Uh,
Yeah,
and also
and like,
that free safety spot too, because Simmons, man, that dude, he acted like he was scared as hell to damn tackle last year.
yeah, and that, like you said, that's gonna be another position of interest right there too as well. I mean, because is that gonna be one of those things where they're going to move Jesse back to that free safety spot, or they're going to be comfortable with him being the rover? Um, like you said, if we look at last year, the middle of our defense, pass coverage wise, was some of the worst that we've seen in a good little while. And going back to what Mike said about Troy Anderson, we always see the spurts with Troy Anderson. His biggest issue is can he stay healthy enough to finish a whole entire season?
No, Troy never lacked in tackling ability. I don't know what you
Mhm.
talking about. Troy's thing is he just wasn't. His thing is you saw his inexperience. It wasn't his tackling; it's his inexperience and being able to recognize it fast enough. But Troy
Mhm.
never had any issues with his tackling ability.
Nah, Troy is good, but I think his replacement is here. And I talked about that in my last show.
Who
Devon
is that now?
Diablo, yeah, Devon Diablo is here, and he gonna clean all of that up. Like when Mike talked about Tasmanian Devil dude running all over the place, that's why they went out and got Devon Diablo. When you talk about Terry Fontenot being a former scout, they literally picked him off of that Raider squad. They looked for that linebacker Deion Jones s because we talked about Jeff Ulbrich being here. We know that his background is linebackers and Deion Jones, Campbell, those guys that can run. Like that's the reason they're trying to move D'Angelo Malone. They need guys that can run, guys that can diagnose stuff. And that's what Devon Diablo does best because he's a former safety. So he's comfortable. And that's what Michael just talking about. I really feel like Troy Anderson, he was really good. It took him time to diagnose. He wasn't really comfortable in coverage. He can run like crazy. Like you talk about, you want a guy to run sideline to sideline. He can run with the best of them. But as far as like having that keen sense, as they said, the spidey senses to know where the zones are and things of that nature, reading quarterbacks' eyes, knowing how far to drop back in coverage. Like how many times we see our linebackers drop way too in their coverages, and you like, bro, if they just drop the ball down to their running back, they're gonna get the first down because y'all dropping too
Yeah,
depth. Y'all
yeah.
getting drop is too deep. You shouldn't be dropping that far back as a linebacker. And then even when you drop with that much depth, you better have closing speed to close in on the
Mhm.
when you throw it.
Right.
So
So
that was
that's
my issue.
experience, Jude.
Yeah,
Sorry, Jude. That's experience. That's not necessarily the fact that he's not tackling well. If
yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
if you don't if you're dropping too deep, you got more ground to make up, and
Exactly.
that's what Jude was talking about.
Right, exactly. Yeah, Troy can tackle. He tackles really well. It's just like you said, it's just you dropping with that much depth. Like you got to know, like basically what a lot of people are not realizing when you look at film and linebackers drop back, when guys are like when they're throwing a ball to guys that are behind them, you kind of have to know how far you're dropping back in the coverage. So you got to have a sense for that.
Hmm.
You're not
Yeah.
looking back behind you, and this guy's running
Hmm.
routes behind you. So you got to have that keen sense. Okay, I'm dropping 5 yards. I'm dropping however many. And sometimes our guys are like, they were dropping 8 yards. You're like, bro, why you dropping so
Yeah.
deep,
That's
bro?
way too deep.
And then when they just dump the ball off, the running back could just turn around and run. Like, you shouldn't be dropping that deep. As soon as, like, if you look at our guys, when we do them little dump off passes, to me, I hate those little dump off passes to running back because to me, it's like a hospital ball. Usually, if you're playing linebacker the right way, when guys drop that little dump off 2 yard, 3 yard like outlet pass, usually as a running
Mhm.
back, you get blown up. Like you get hit in the back because
Mhm.
if you're playing linebacker the right way. And that's what I think we're gonna see this year with guys that can close like Diablo, even Troy Anderson. They got that closing speed where as soon as that dump pass get there, it should be an instant boom boom type play. They shouldn't turn around, have time to catch it and turn around and still get yards. It should be literally they catch it, boom, they getting hit by somebody.
Mhm.
Yeah. But like I said, before Troy Anderson got hurt last year, you saw that too. That's why I
Yeah,
said the injuries for him is really what's been holding him back. And
yeah,
like you said, Jalen Walker, Divine Diablo, these are insurance policies for that explosive type linebacker. Even D'Angelo Mahone, they're going to develop him as an insurance policy just in case if Troy doesn't make it throughout the whole season. 'Cause as we already know from last year, them linebackers in coverage what was god awful. K
Mhm.
Nellis, god awful.
Woo, Lord have mercy.
Nate Landry.
Nate Landman, oh goodness
Oh, God, two
gracious.
men shoes. That man has some men shoes for real.
And like you said, JD Bertrand, if he stopped getting concussions.
They have good linebackers. Like I said, right now,
Yeah.
I think they needed Jeff Ulbrich because like I really don't think our tackling with our DBs was a problem. The thing is, like you said, when you have to play 4 yards off of any player on offense, like that's no easy task. That's really difficult to put your linebackers in a position because these guys are super athletic. Not many linebackers are going to be able to make certain types of open field tackles. You know, so uh,
Okay. So so we put a lot of focus on the defense. Let's kind of go to the offensive side of the ball here, man. Like you said, as we're talking about a lot of these OTAs and training camps, well, of course, we already hear the news. I know everybody's about sick and tired of the Kirk Cousins drama, and that right there, that ain't going away uh, as long as he's still on the roster. But Michael Penix Jr., like you said, the excitement going for him for year two. Um, I think with Zach Robinson kind of, no expressing that he wants to open things up a little bit more within the passing game itself. The um the importance of Kyle Pitts and getting him more involved. Um, what are y'all hearing as far as what are y'all liking? Because I saw somebody asked about, hold on, I got it right here. Like certain guys that's on the roster. Keith No Sweat. He talk about Joshua Simon here. So how do y'all feel about the offense going into 2025, especially with these OTAs so far?
I'll say this, Kay. This year for Michael Penix, I just want him to be efficient, make the easy play, and don't do too much. Like you talked about that the first year that Desmond Ritter started. Like we don't need Michael Penix to come in and be the savior because last year we seen with Kirk Cousins when the offense was operating the correct way before Kirk Cousins got injured, we seen the type of numbers we were putting up. That game in that Tampa game where we were putting up big points, the offense was flowing. We were able to throw the ball, run the ball, do pretty much anything we want. I feel like it's the same thing with Michael Penix this year. We don't need him necessarily to pass for 4,000 plus yards. We just need him to be efficient. And the number one thing for him is I just don't need him to consistently turn the ball over. That's what killed us last year. He don't need to have eye popping numbers. Do I think he's going to in this offense? I do think that he's going to have eye popping numbers. I do think that Michael Penix is kind of a gunslinger because he has a special arm, like he's a special arm talent. But I really don't want him to have to go out there and force it and be like, I have to be the MVP of this team. I have to carry this team. We don't need that. And I really feel like that's where Kirk Cousins went wrong last year. He started pressing. Y'all heard me say that. Like, you kept hearing Raheem Morris say, we got here because of Kirk Cousins. We got here because of Kirk Cousins. I understand that. Yeah, fine, cool. But at the end of the day, football is a team sport. I just need you to go out there and do the small things. I keep saying, if we just do the consistent, small things, fundamental things consistently, take the check down when it's there. Don't force the ball. Let the game come to you. If Penix does that, if he leans on that running game, I talked about in my last video, a couple videos I did ago, Bijan Robinson, I feel like, and Tyler Algier can take a lot of pressure off of Michael Penix in the offensive line, just running the ball well. If we run the ball well, which we know we're a good running team, we have a good offensive line, one of the best running backs in the game, that's going to open up throwing lanes. So those throwing lanes should be wide open. If we running the ball 4 and 5 yards a clip, you turn around and fake hand it off, put it in his belly and take it out and turn around, it should be, wide open in the middle of the field. Drake London on them slants, those comeback routes, even though some deep passes down the field, that stuff should be open. But I really feel like one thing that I didn't like about Zach Robinson last year, if it was anything, that I can bring up that was negative, you guys know I said he didn't understand rhythm. At times, the running game would get going, and then all of a sudden we in 5 wide, or he would deviate from it. He didn't know how to set up his plays. So that's what I'm watching for Zach Robinson. It's just once you got a rhythm and they're running the ball or whatever you're doing well consistently during that particular game, stick with it. Like, don't go away from it. So whoever the hot hand is at that time, just roll with it. But as far as Penix, I just want him to just stay calm. Like last year, he showed that he's a poised quarterback, but just don't put too much on his plate. That's what I'm a little bit worried about because they keep talking about how good he is. He's really good, but don't pour it all on his plate like he's an all-pro because he's not a veteran. Yes, he's a good arm talent, but now teams have tape on him. So you don't want to put everything on his plate like you got to be the reason that we win or lose games. You just want him to come in as a first-year starter and say, look, we put all these weapons around you. We're going to do things to set up the pass. We're not going to force you to come out game one and you got to be the reason week in and week out that we win or lose games. Because if you put all that pressure on him, he's going to make mistakes. He's going to throw an interception this year, people. So when he throws that first interception, don't start, when he threw that interception in Washington, I said, see, this is what happens when you don't have chemistry. Guy breaks out inside, he throws it outside, easy interception. That kind of stuff happens. The tip balls to Kyle Pitts during that one game where it was hit him right in the breadbasket. That kind of stuff is going to happen. So you can't let that discourage you. You don't get gun shy because of the turnovers. But just do the small things. Don't do too much. Don't do what Desmond Ridder tried to do and prove everybody wrong. Just come out, play your game, be poised, be calm, and let the game come to you. And I really feel like everything, as far as the Falcons offense, the bread is buttered with that running game and that offensive line and physicality. Once you establish that line of scrimmage and the physicality with your run game, that should open up the pass, and it should make it a lot easier to pass the ball. But that's where I kind of sit with the offense.
My who needs the crucial year this year offensively? Who do you think needs to be that crucial piece to help take this offense to another next level?
Well, I think the Falcons, like I like the way they distributing the ball. For the most part, for me, is more so what I don't want to see out of this offense. I don't want to see screw ups catching 5 passes a game. Don't want to see that because the ball needs to be in Tyler Allgeier's hand. Bijan, Kyle, it needs to be in Drake. I need to see those guys consistently in the game plan. I don't want to see games where none of these guys aren't seeing anything less than 3 targets a game. Every last one of these guys need to have 3, at the very least 3 targets. Kyle needs to have 3. At the very least, he needs to 3. It's games where Kyle not even touching the ball. It's games where certain guys aren't even touching the ball. Mooney, These guys need to have the ball in their hands at the very least 3 targets a game. Anything less than that from those guys are our playmakers, the Moonies, the Kyle Pitts, the Drake Londons. Like they need to have 3 targets. I don't want to see Ray McLeod with 5 targets in the game. Okay, unless he's wide open, running down the seams wide open 5 times. I don't want to see you calling plays. I don't want to see. I don't want to see Michael Penix, throwing the ball to him, 4, 5, 6 times a game. Don't want to see that because guess what? He's not our playmaker. Why are we paying these guys big time money to not touch the ball? Why are we drafting these guys to not touch the ball? It's a waste of talent. If you're gonna do that, just get rid of them and bring in some scrubs to do that. But you didn't do that. You drafted these guys for a reason. So we need to be playing our youngsters, right? Get the ball into their hands. I don't want to see them calling plays for Charlie Warner. Okay. I don't want to see him going out of the dang on backfield like he a damn like he's Debo Samuel or something like that. He's not Debo Samuel. Stop trying to have him do all this other stuff. I don't want to see that. So if the Falcons offense is going to be explosive, get the ball in. Good things happen when you put the ball into your shooter's hands. Good things happen when you pass the ball to Steph Curry. Good things happen when you put the ball in Brad James' hands. Good things happen when Michael Jordan got. Good things happen when you put the ball in Randy Moss' hand. Good things happen when you put the ball into Bo Jackson and Barry Sanders. Good things happen there. Okay, it's the reason why these guys are superstars. It's the reason why these guys are drafted that high. So if the Falcons' offense is going to be explosive, run with your superstars. The end.
Mm, okay. And speaking of that, like I said, Keith asked the question about Joshua Simon. Well, how important do you think Joshua Simon can be for this team? And do you think that he'll be able to make the 53?
I don't. I wouldn't pay too much attention to him. I wouldn't play. Just being real. If he ends up having a big preseason, he'll make it. But don't get your hopes up for a guy that's undrafted. He's undrafted for a reason. Granted that he has abilities. I mean, we see guys like Ryan Nuzul that's able to make a career for themselves. So it's possible that he can be something special, but or at least very good or a backup tight end or something. It's possible, but he's undrafted for a reason. So don't get your hopes up in regard to Joshua Simon. I'm not
Mm,
one of these guys that's gonna try to sell y'all a dream because I like his physical makeup. His physical makeup makes him very, um, I guess, impressionable is the right word. I like his physical stature. I like he definitely has the ability to kind of run after the catch at the tight end position. He has the physical makeup to be able to be to be I guess a passing catching tight end. Like he has that, but
mhm.
I wouldn't focus too much on him making the team. Just being real.
And Southside here said, I'm glad Ross Dwelly went back to San Francisco. Every time he touched the field last year, it was a wonky ass play.
That's true.
Hey, like I said, Joshua Simon to me is definitely a guy that I could see making this team as a tight end three.
Mm-hmm.
I think we still got Charlie Warren on the squad, so I think
I think
they're
he'd be a
gonna roll
good.
with at least they're gonna roll with at least three tight ends, and like you said, that's definitely another one of those guys where it's gonna be a development project for him. Like you said, he does bring that playmaker ability at that position. Kind of like you said, it pretty much just add to another receiving threat that's going to be closer to the line of scrimmage for Michael Penix, rather it be some that they're going to take advantage this year, or it might be somebody that they might be planning down the line. But
Keep up.
it's going to but it's going to, like you said, it's going, like you said, regardless of what we talk about with guys like Kyle Pitts, Darnell Mooney, and all these. Rather, y'all looking for these guys to run these crispy ass routes with
Mm-hmm.
crispy ass depths and stuff like that. At the end of the day, you can run all the routes you can. It's going to be depending on if the quarterback is comfortable throwing the ball to you.
Mm-hmm. So that's another reason why I'm saying it's like you keep an eye on guys like Simon and Quentin Tarantino, because I don't know how the hell you say his name. I'm just gonna run with that.
Hmm.
Guys with that, with obviously they have the size and ability, but like I said, it comes with the chemistry, man. If whoever's Mike is comfortable with, he's gonna get it to him.
Hmm. Right. So yeah, like you said, practice squad is going to be most likely, but he does have a shooter's chance of making the 53 as a tight end three.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, it's just all just going to be depend on, like you said, Mike. It's going to be preseason. Preseason is going to dictate a lot of this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Who's going to
That's
be throwing the football in preseason?
mm-hmm.
Is it going to be a Hurdy McFly and Kirk Cousins? Or they going to give Penix a little bit of burn in the preseason? We don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, be honest with you, who the hell is the third quarterback? Emory Jones?
Cameron Jones, Easton Stick, like
Yeah,
we got.
I forgot my favorite quarterback, Easton Stick, is on the team. Many damn jokes that I done made about Easton Stick. I couldn't believe they actually signed his ass. I
How
said,
you forget him?
I think I'd have made about seven Easton Stick to Atlanta jokes the previous 2 seasons, and he actually is on the team now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit, I forgot about Felipe Franks too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh
that's
yeah,
what
that's
I'm
tight.
saying. There's a lot of guys out there. That's why I said don't get too hyped on a lot of these young players because they Falcons got some pretty savvy vets. They're trying to like they not trying to go back home. They won't look. They want to stay on the team.
Mm. But like you said, Felipe Franks is one of those guys where Felipe Franks is one of those guys, like you said, yeah, they might just have him on the depth as a wide receiver six or something like that. Like you said, you can put
Mhm.
him anywhere,
Yeah.
but we'll see. Keyshawn, be quiet. Talk about asking, you shall receive. That's it. Said Atlanta Falcons signed Easton Stick. I'm like, are you serious?
Hmm.
I was just joking. But let's see. So got about 10 more minutes here. Um, we're gonna go ahead and get right into the Q&A portion of the show. We're gonna, like I said, let y'all go ahead and ask a few questions. And then we're gonna get up on out of here in about 10 minutes. Uh, let's see. Jordan Test boy kicking it off with what are y'all thoughts on this new top offensive lineman award?
About time. they should,
Goddamn right.
they should have.
Y'all better put some respect on these offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Y'all better put some respect on them.
Look, we just watched in the Super Bowl. Pat Mahomes wish he had somebody to protect him. That's how important that position is. I've been.
Yeah, but
If you don't got no line that can block for you, and this is why we say the trenches matter. The Super Bowl was not a good watch. My mother-in-law was here with the baby, visiting the baby. We were watching the Super Bowl, and I was like, "There ain't no game. What game?" The
what
half
game?
was the only thing. Like it ain't nothing going on. Like I watched this. the Super Bowl mainly for the commercial because the game was like it was a blowout. Like it didn't even seem like that should even have been the Super Bowl matchup. I'm looking at the game like, well, dang, why didn't the Ravens or one of them teams expose this Kansas City Chiefs offense like the offensive line like this? Because when I say the trenches matter, the Super Bowl is what you could point to. That game was dominated by the Eagles' defensive line against that offensive line. So
Vic Fangio said, "Forget y'all. We blitz Craig and him."
all day
Where's
That's
this
all
all
that
from?
was.
domination in the trenches. So when they talk about it's a passing league, no, it's a trenches league. Forget the passing league. If
Exactly.
you can't protect
Exactly.
passing, you ain't gonna have a chance to pass it.
Look. You can't protect the city without a wall.
Exactly.
you you can't protect the city without a wall. You
Mm-mm.
if any of y'all watching here are warfare fanatic historical warfare fanatics, you already know. If you ain't got a wall, you ain't got no barracks or nothing to protect your army is going down in flames real quick. But yeah, as far as the old lineman award, yes, that like I said, I'm glad to see that. It should have been had that. I don't know why they tripping like that. Like you said, man, if you paying these quarterbacks this amount of money that they have right now, you better show up that offensive line.
Exactly. Protect the asset. If you don't, you see what happens. You see how games can get real lopsided real quick. And we've seen it
Hmm.
year in and year out with Matt Ryan
Hmm.
last couple of years with being like one of the most sacked quarterbacks. I don't care how good
Hmm.
your arm is, and I don't care how fast you run. I don't care your arm strength. None of that don't matter. We like I said, we literally seen everybody here on this panel know that Pat Mahomes is in the league of his own as far as the best quarterback in the league, and he couldn't do nothing without that offensive line protecting
Man,
him.
that offensive line was Swiss cheese, boy. From the get go, we already saw what was gonna happen. They like you said, you had your right tackle playing left tackle. You had two guards that never played that only
Woo,
had
boy.
like three starts in between them all year. Center getting beat up. Yeah,
And
and
you
that's
had
the thing.
four guys on the Eagles saying, "Meet you at the quarterback. Let's see who can get there first."
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Which was the formula that Tampa Bay used to beat Kansas City in the other Super Bowl.
Exactly.
Blitzkrieg the offensive line. But yeah, like Georgia Texas boy said, like remember Denver Bronco top offense got smacked by the Legion of Doom, Legion of Boom. Yeah. Okay, of course this is mine. What are the thoughts about the competition at kicker? Um, This is I think, like I said, I don't really think it's like I said, the competition is good. I think Young Wei Koo gonna beat him out. Like Lenny Craig, he has the best chance to beat him out. But the unique position about that competition in itself is because Lenny Craig is an international player, an international project player. He can still be on the roster and it's not gonna cost the roster spot.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see them really giving up on Koo that quickly because even with the bad season he had last year, it's a lot of games that he's won for this franchise the last 3 years. So
Say that
they're
again.
not going. Yeah, okay. There's a lot of games that he has won on his leg alone these past 3 years. They're not gonna give up on him that quick. But what they not gonna do is they not gonna have no Riley Patterson situation. They don't want to go down there. I don't want to go down that road.
And I don't think people factor in K like the pressure in them games when it's like you kicking to win the game. It's one thing to come in, it's like no pressure. You kicking in a competition type deal to get on the team. But then once you get on
Mhm.
that team, like I hope that some of these preseason games come down to like, okay, we need a field goal to win. Put him in and let's see what he can do. Like when all
Right.
was on the table, because you know what I'm saying. Backside gets tight, palms get sweaty. When you kicking to win the game, you know. Let's go back to the '98 Falcons that went to the Super Bowl. You needed that kick to get you to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Like them
Mm-hmm.
like game changing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think a lot of people understand the pressure to be able to be a kicker in the league. Like it ain't easy as it looks. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta be special when it comes down to it, man.
See, they just looking at kicking the ball and saying that, oh, that's all you gotta do.
And how far he can kick from. I hear this dude can kick like 60 yards and all of that, but Coach Marquise Williams already talked about it. Like, I don't really care. He talked about how far this dude can kick. He was like, it's the consistency and the accuracy of it. Like, you might
Right.
be. I've seen kickers that can kick far field goals, but they can't kick, PATs and stuff like that consistently, like accurately. They got to
Sebastian Stanikowski.
exactly,
That came out. That came out.
exactly. So I'm not enamored by well, this man can kick a 70 yarder. Can he win me a game by I need him to kick a 35 yarder? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. So, so yeah, as far as the kicker position, like I said, I don't see Young Way Cool losing that spot. Um, and I'm not so quick to give up on him, especially for the simple fact that you damn found out that this man literally played on a bad hip, damn near pretty much the whole season.
A bad hip. So we just kept throwing them out there. Kept throwing
Um,
the hip out there. Good gracious.
exactly. And you knew it was a bad hip because they put that mother on the IR right when it got worse. Think about that for a second. Um, Let me see. Keyshawn here said now that the running back position is increasing, which position market do y'all think will decrease?
I don't know.
That's the question.
Yeah, that's a real good question. I don't know about think. I say it should be the quarterback position because we keep seeing this. We've talked about this numerous times. They're gonna have to fix the quarterback market.
Ain't nobody can play that.
It's gonna have to be the quarterback market. Okay, I don't know if it will happen. Because what the quarterback brings to today's NFL game, but I think that they need to fix the market. Either take it out where it's not a part of the salary cap as far as that quarterback position, because they all making over what 200 million. Say 100 some guaranteed. I really feel like they
Mhm.
take that out
It'll be
because
the quarterback position.
yeah, it gotta be. It gotta be like if y'all look at they talked about teams that won the Super Bowl, like that's over, I think like 8% of the salary cap, 10%, like certain quarterbacks that they haven't been able to win a Super Bowl. It's like they making too much money. These quarterbacks, guys that haven't won anything. Tua, Brock Purdy just got paid. Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, all of these guys are making 50 million a year.
They
And
ain't got out their grandma's sofa. Right, and they making $100 million. Man, it's gonna be the quarterback position.
it gotta be.
You got Brock Purdy out here making 53.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me.
To hand the ball off to Christian McCaffrey. Man, you want to see him go well?
And to be honest, when I I did a short about Brock Purdy. It's like I was like, he's a top 15 quarterback, top 10, 15 ish. But I'm like, they really had to pay him because if you look at all of these other quarterbacks that's making money, if I'm Brock Purdy's agent, I literally walk in and say we starting at 50 because you look at the guys that are making more money than him and they haven't done anything. Like you got Tua making
Mhm.
50 million. So how you gonna come to the table and tell me that Brock Purdy can't get it if you got Trevor Lawrence and all these other guys that haven't even won a playoff game? This man been to 2 NFC championship game in a Super Bowl appearance. That's what got him got him paid. So it's just like that's why I said they got to fix the market because forget this next man up is the highest paid because this is the only position that you're doing that in. If you look at any other positions, running back, even wide receiver, every wide receiver don't necessarily jump the next wide receiver unless you Jamar Chase or the best of the best. Drake London, he's 9 times out of 10, Drake London is not gonna get more money than Jamar Chase just got. I love Drake London, but he gonna have to take a little bit of a discount. Like he ain't.
Drake, he can go to hell if he was for that type of money.
Yeah, I'm just being honest with y'all. Atlanta's not gonna pay him that type of money, and if he's looking for that type of money, he tripping. Like he's a really good player, and y'all know I love London, but it's not making like literally Cincinnati they can't pay Trey Hendrickson now because they paid them 2 wide receivers. Like that's how bad it is when you got to pay one guy $200 million. You know what I'm saying? Like let's be real.
Them damn Cincinnati wide receivers said, "I'm gonna go raw, go raw, go raw. I'm gonna go raw, go raw, go raw." Boy, they raw dog in that salary cap right now.
Yeah, man. To their demise, because now Trey he gonna have to walk. Like, or I understand why Trey saying I'm not gonna play under my contract because y'all paid everybody and now y'all want to leave me with what's left. Like, nah, bro.
Hell, damn Shamar Stewart talking about he may hold out damn preseason until they figure out the
Well,
goddamn contract works.
he can go to hell too. I've seen enough from him.
That man said the agent said he ain't like the language in the contract, so he not gonna play until y'all fix the language. I like if the language talking about more money, motherfucker, it ain't happening.
Lord.
We up here talking about damn. We really up here talking about some damn Jamar Stewart talking about he don't like language. Man, you don't shut up and tackle somebody.
What makes it even worse is he's on the same team with Trey Hendrickson talking about he deserves.
Bro, what? Like you ain't getting no more money.
Right, exactly. They don't want to pay the man that led the league in sacks.
Right.
They want to pay you.
Exactly, motherfucker. I'm like, motherfucker, you gonna give me at least give me 3 sacks in the season, nigga? What we talking about?
You got Trey Henderson out here with 17 and a half back-to-back seasons. This man said, I ain't signing because of language.
Man, come on. Make it make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah. So that's why like you said, and that's why I have put out the short earlier this week about who has the most to prove as far as quarterback wise between Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Joe Burrow. And I honestly say Joe Burrow got the most to prove out of all 3 of them. Just for the simple fact that 40% of your salary cap, 40% of your salary cap is going to the wide receiver position. So they're going to be expecting Joe Burrow to basically play hero ball in Cincinnati.
Well, I don't like Lamar Jackson, so I'm just gonna hate on him. I'm playing, y'all. I'm just playing.
Yeah, but we'll still have that conversation about that too. So we're gonna go and get up on out of here, man, fellas, man. Let y'all go ahead and get y'all final words here before we get up on out of here, man. So Drew, man, what you gotta say to the people?
So y'all be on the lookout for a couple of videos that I'm getting ready to drop. One about Arnold Ebiketie. That's going to be very interesting.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, especially with the draft picks here. We talked a little bit about Drake London getting that big contract. I'm gonna have a video about him coming soon. Y'all just stay tuned, man. A lot coming for you guys, but I'm excited. Like I said, this Falcons team is one of the deepest teams. We've been saying that since the last 2 years, but this is one of the deepest rosters that I can say, as far as youth, as far as talent, first round talent and things of that nature. This is one of the deepest teams, and I really feel like this team is going to be really, really good. So I'm excited to see what they bring to the table. Can't wait for training camp. Can't wait for preseason to see, what it all looks like when they actually get out there on the field. But like I said, y'all stay tuned, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button on each and every one of our channels. But we're gonna have more and more content as the season gets closer. We should be doing Navigator live shows a lot more now that I'm done with the parental leave and stuff like that. My baby girl is getting older and the kids is out for the summer. So I should have a lot more time to, join in with you guys. I have some solo shows coming, so y'all stay tuned for what's the word. And like I said, y'all stay tuned to Mad Mike, K Styles. They always got something going on. AFN, we always got some type of live show, some type
Mm-hmm.
of thing to pick y'all brain. Like y'all give us, ideas as well. Like they talked about me giving them ideas, but I get ideas from the fans. But we all are fans at the end of the day, so we get all type of different conversations. I see stuff on Twitter that sparks
Yep.
my interest, and that's how I get a lot of my, ideas for doing videos. I talk to Mike, I talk to Kay, I watch their shows, and then they might say something that sparked my interest. Okay, let me put
Mm-hmm.
video out about this. So we appreciate you guys. Like you guys don't know how much inspiration y'all give us to keep going and doing, this content, Atlanta Falcon content, NFL content. So y'all keep giving us ideas. Tell us what y'all want. Because at the end of the day, we want to give y'all the content that y'all want. And we want y'all to give us ideas about what y'all want to hear us talk about on the heavy hitter shows as well. So that's all I pretty much got for you guys. Y'all know where to find me. Everything is at Jew Talk Sports. So Twitter, Instagram, whatever, at Jew Talk Sports. Y'all definitely follow your boy. I'll follow you back.
All right, man. All right, man. Hey, look, man. All right, Mike, what you got, man? What's the last word of the day, man?
Well, I don't want to be predictable, but I'm gonna be predictable. It's still Raheem. I don't care about what y'all like. I don't care about who like him. I don't care how much he smile. I don't care how many Jordans he wear. I don't care about how many times he sit up here and smile with Drake and they hold hands and sing Kumbaya. At the end of the day, I want to live by Marshawn Lynch's quotes. I'm about that action, boss. I don't want to hear nothing else. We about that action. Be about that action.
Mm,
The end. That's all. Be about that action. Stop telling us what y'all gonna do. Stop telling us that you're gonna make the necessary move. We want to see it.
okay.
And then what? It's closing on 17. Look, it's been 8 years since we've been back to the Super Bowl. All right, let's get back. Stop talking about what was gonna happen.
So in
Okay.
other words, Mike, you saying you can see better, you can hear. Okay.
That's it.
Mike say, show me.
Show me, bro, for real.
Was it
That's all.
prove me? Was it prove me? See, Keyshawn, you ain't got to do that. He said, as long as he don't get his shoes dirty after he's, you know what?
Man, that man talk about his dang on shoes. Man, I don't care about no shoes, bro. Talking about I need to go change my shoes because it's wet outside. Man, what we talking about? I don't want to hear my dang head coach talking like that.
Mike said, seeing is believing. Show me.
Seeing is believing. That's it. I'm a nitpick him until I see it. Look, y'all think y'all don't see in the beginning. I ain't even started yet. I want to see it.
Oh, and I'm gonna say it like this: tomorrow, we starting off the 6MK challenge. We got a very interesting topic for
Oh
tomorrow.
yeah.
So we gonna do it at prime time hours tomorrow at 8:05 for the 6 man convo. So this is gonna be an open show.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna talk about Raheem Morris. So bring your asses
I
and let
promise
it
I'll shut up, y'all. I will shut up. I'm not gonna.
this is gonna be y'all show. So y'all make sure y'all stay tuned to Sis and K live for the 6 man convo tomorrow. And we're gonna be doing a lot more short uploads over here on the Heavy Hitters live
Mm-hmm.
channel too as well. They gotta figure. I think we done figured out a way to kind of do this the right way. So you're gonna get some more content on this channel as well. So until
Mm-hmm.
next time, people, we ain't here to play.
Oh, absolutely not.
We here to stay.
Oh yeah, nigga.
You ain't gotta go home.
But you got to get the heck up out of here. Oh yeah.
And talk about those are some low top Jordan ones. And then, first of all,
Um,
you talking about some ones, nigga. Them shits need to be mids and high. They don't need no low. Them
low top
basically
boy,
go
that's illegal right there.
nigga. Them sound like some panda dunks or something. Nigga, get the fuck up out of here. All right, we's out, y'all. Look, talking about some damn dirty ass shoot. You know what? It'll get up on that before I say something that's gonna get us
Yeah,
canceled.
look, man.